Welcome to the Four on the Floor podcast, where we ask 4 questions to musicians about drumming and life. My name is Allison Ponthier. I'm your host. I'm also the owner of Full Circle Company. And today we have Caitlin Kalafus. Yeah. She's a drummer, but I was thinking about kind of like your resume, and I'm like, it is so expansive. From playing Madison Square Garden to being on the Seth Meyers show, Tessa Violet, you filled in for New Year's Eve, Cave Town, and then you're here in Salt Lake City playing with Allison Ponthier.
Yeah.
And so, Caitlin, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm happy
absolutely.
to be here. Yeah.
So, we're here in Salt Lake City. This is where we're headquartered. I wanted to ask you, because I know you've been touring for quite a while, do you have a favorite memory or something that pops up or stands out in your mind when you think about Salt Lake City?
Ooh, Salt Lake. Just for me, honestly, when we're pulling in on a tour bus, which I'm not on this run, but in the past, I think the second time I ever was in Salt Lake, I was on a tour bus and I got up to go to the bathroom at like 5 a.m. And instead of going right back to my bunk, I took a peek out the window and it was just like the sun was coming up and then the mountains. And I was just like, what? It's so drastically different than anything I, experienced growing up.
Right.
And it was just so beautiful. And I really like it here. I think there's like an amazing contrast between mountains and city, and the weather's always feeling good, even if it's hot.
Right.
I like it.
Yeah, you came at a good time.
Yeah.
To early October. It's not too hot before the snow and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And so you grew up, you talked about just the difference between here and where you grew up. You grew up in New Jersey, right?
Connecticut.
So, okay. My bad.
It's all right. It's like the same tiny states. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm in Philadelphia now, though.
Right. Mm-hmm. So not a lot of mountains in that area, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah. I like that I'm near the coast, though. I think there's something about like, you have the lake, so
it's smelly and
it's smelly.
And people like streak there, I guess.
They do.
It's a place. Yeah. I haven't seen that, but that's what I hear.
That is wild. I don't think I've seen it yet. I'm always kind of just like where the venue is, but yeah, I need to be near water for me personally.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And just talking about touring and traveling, I know you've done extensive touring throughout the years. And so one thing that's always kind of fascinated me about my friends who are on the road a lot is how difficult it must be and how much of a sacrifice it is to live out your dream or your career professionally being away from home, and how there must be some sort of grounding or something, some tie back to home while you're out. I imagine just to get through the touring and everything like that. So I'm wondering, as someone who I know is pretty close to your family, your wife, Kayla, mm-hmm. Your mom, dad, sisters, mm-hmm. How do you strike that balance between life on the road and then staying grounded with life back home?
Yeah, it's a lot. Sometimes, especially when you come home from tour, because you feel like it's kind of like the similarity between like playing a show and you're expending all this energy, and then you have that downtime after the show and you're like, whoa, like what did I just do? So that's kind of how it feels when you come home from tour. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, I was just like everywhere all at once for 6 weeks. And now I'm just back home where it feels safe and warm and like cozy. I think I learned to take every day one at a time, like even an hour at a time, or else I'll go kind of crazy. Because we're in the middle of a 7-ish week tour right now. And I'm just like, nope, don't look at the finish line. We still have a little bit more to go. Right. A lot of FaceTime calls, a lot of calling when I have 5 minutes. Kayla would be like, I want to hear your voice, but for me, the 5 minutes is kind of like, it feels like I just get a taste and then you have to go. So call me when you have more time. And we talked for like an hour today. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I FaceTimed with my family the other day, and that's always fun because they're just like all their little windows and just like everyone's trying to explain what's going on. My sister just bought a house. So it's like, we're all really excited for each other. And yeah, I don't know. I like to try to take some time to myself when I can. So like last night we were in the car all day going from Denver to Utah. And I was just like, I think I need to go to dinner by myself, and just like, I just wanted that alone time. And I met some like random woman on a business trip at the bar, and we talked about family and pets, and it made me think of everyone back home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty
That's
patient
awesome.
with it, I think.
Yeah. And that sound, even as you're explaining it, sounds like a good balance of like communicating, FaceTiming, talking.
FaceTime's the best.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe, like, I don't know what people did
in the
back
day.
in the day. See ya. Yeah.
Yeah, especially like when you had to like call on a landline or find it. Yeah, that's just so crazy.
I also like Snapchat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't have
Nice.
like, I don't do stories and stuff, but I'll do it for like my mom's on there, my sisters, a couple of my friends, and then my wife. And I'll just be like, here's the venue today. And
Oh, cool.
look at this yummy food I had for lunch. It's like stuff I don't want to save on my phone.
Right.
But then I'll get it in the memory a year later, and then I'll be able to see like, oh yeah, I was in Vienna a year ago today, and I saw this cool statue on tour.
Yeah, that's
Just
awesome.
silly stuff, but cool.
And then they
yeah.
can see it on their time too.
Yeah.
It's not like, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I love that you're reaching out, they're reaching out to you, but then you're also like, okay, I need space for myself. I need time to myself. And that sounds like a really healthy balance there too. Yeah. Switching gears a bit here.
Okay.
There's rumors that Warped Tour might be coming back next year, which is pretty wild and exciting. Who knows what that might look like and if there's even any validity to it.
Yeah.
But one thing I've kind of heard and have noticed is that there's these bands that are out now that grew up maybe going to Warped Tour but never playing it because maybe once they had the opportunity to, or they were in a band, Warped Tour didn't exist anymore. And so I'm wondering, because I know that you were on Warped Tour 2016 with Mother Feather.
Yeah.
Did you do any other Warped Tours?
No. Well,
Okay.
actually, so my band in like 2010, it was called Kicking Daisies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Which you know. We did 2 or 3 dates, but they were like, I think New Jersey and somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it was just for the day.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the whole experience.
Right.
But I got the whole experience in 2016, and it was so crazy.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if you can just pull back the curtain. on, especially thinking about those folks that, you know, grew up going to Warped Tour, having that dream and then not being able to.
Yeah.
What was like a typical day on Warped Tour like? And then do you have a memory that like really stands out about Warped Tour?
Yeah. So it was 41 shows in 51 days. So that's insane. We were traveling in an RV, and so it was like a one RV thing. It wasn't like detached from the driver. The driver would sleep above his thing. So he would sleep all day while we were doing, you know, the job.
Yeah.
And then all night he would drive. But like I slept on the like kitchenette dinette thing that turns into a bed. So I'd have to like take the table off, put it on there, put the cushions there.
Wow.
You would hear things in the little kitchenette being like cling, 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 cling all night. Like it was insane. No, this was okay. Do you know the Lady Gaga meme where she's like, no sleep? Bus, club, another club, plane. Yeah, we quoted that all the time on that tour because it just felt like kind of deja vu over and over and over again. Yeah. But yeah, we would get there, have to figure out where's your tent going to be today? Where's the stage? What time are you playing today? Because it's different every day. Right. Where are the bathrooms? Where are the showers? Are there showers? Yeah. Where's catering? And then you know, before you know it, doors would open and a swarm of kids would run. And that was always kind of fun to watch because they're all so happy and excited for the whole day. Yeah. And then, you just like kind of hang out. There was no real quiet time. There's 7 different stages. So it would be like, I just remember hearing like the bass from like every stage all at once. Right. And the food was really good though. Nice. Catering was really good. Yeah. I think they were called Tada. I might be wrong. I feel like that was what they were called. Yeah. They were great. And you could volunteer too. Cool. And then you would get to skip the line when you volunteered. So I did that a couple times. I hated the shower situation. Like sometimes it would be like a locker room in a stadium. Oh wow. Where like open. Yeah. And then just be all the women that you're just like, hey, I couldn't do it. Yeah. So I would stay sweaty. And then we would get to like a Flying J in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere. And I would go take a shower with all the truckers, not with the truckers. Yeah. But I'd be like a little girl at like, I forget how old I was. I mean, I was early 20s, but maybe like 24 or something. And I would be holding my little towel and be like, one shower, please.
Yeah.
It was kind of insane. I don't know how I did it, and I don't know if I could do it now. Like, if I did it now, I think I'd need a tour bus, and maybe not even then. I don't know. It was just like insane.
It was a moment of time in that part of your life.
If anyone needs me, I'm not going to say no right now, but like, it was intense.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A really cool first tour, though. That was my first tour.
Wow, your first tour.
Yeah.
Is there a moment, because I know there's the Warped Tour barbecues, and then you're
Those
seeing
are cool.
bands or like different, celebrities or whoever, drummers that you maybe have grown up watching. Was there like a moment that really stuck out to you?
Yeah, I got to stand behind a couple people and watch on stage. And then I really liked this one theme park. There was a theme park next door, and we got free access.
Oh, nice.
So after my set, I think my set was like at 3:00, and I was just like, I'm going to ride roller coasters for the rest of the day.
Fun.
Yeah, that was cool. And then there was a band on our stage, because we were on the like full circle stage. Not full circle, full sail.
Yeah.
That was
They wish.
That would have been so cool. An idea to have.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Ooh, Work 2025 sponsored.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
That would be
sounds expensive,
so
but yeah,
cool,
that would be cool.
I think the backdrop would like
Yeah,
be really
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Yeah, the full sail stage. And so it was like the up and coming bands, and there was one band that toted around the big like grill that they would cook for us at the end of the night.
Wow.
I think that's how they got on it. They were like,
Okay.
we will grill for everyone. And they were so nice. And it was just fun, like hot dogs and cheap beer and talking to people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
like camping with a million bands.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to meet Joel Madden.
Oh, nice.
I
I've met Benji.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Yeah. I was telling Allison this last night because I forget how it came up, but I was talking about how the Good Charlotte was like my biggest influence as a little kid. That's kind of the band, and their music video that I saw was like the first time that I felt like I could become an individual person. Like I started dyeing my hair cool colors at the tips of it, and, painting my nails black and wearing cool bracelets and shopping at Hot Topic as like a 9-year-old because I saw that they were doing it, and I was like, that's how I want to be. And so it kind of like was like a formative moment seeing Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous on MTV. So I got to tell him when I saw him, they got us everyone on Warped Tour an ice cream truck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it was like they were on it for 2 weeks, and the first day they came, they rented an ice cream truck for everyone in the parking lot.
Fun.
And I got to say hi to him and tell him that.
Oh, that's
and
special.
he said, and look at you now, we're on tour together. And I thought it was so cheesy and so sweet. And I was just like, kind of, but thank you.
You're like, I haven't showered in 4 days, but it's okay.
I'm like, not quite on tour. You're on the main stage,
Right,
but
right.
it's fine. It's okay. Thank you.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Warped Tour memories for sure. Yeah. Cool. Talking about just growing up and seeing different bands that you like, I'm wondering too, I know for me that I can think back on like every single drum kit I've had. I started Full Circle because I like didn't want to throw away some cymbals I used when I toured and when I taught others and all that type of stuff. And so I know that gear can have a really sentimental value for different drummers. I'm wondering if there's a piece of gear from your past that has a sentimental value, whether you have it still or not. And then what's a piece of gear from your current setup that you really love?
Yeah, the first drum set I think I've ever played, I still have. I think I may have told you this story about my dad being a music teacher. Maybe not. I don't know. I was like begging him. So he's in bands. He's a guitar player mainly, plays all the instruments, but I was around 7 years old when I really wanted to play the drums. I started begging him. And so he teaches middle school general music. He does like kind of a School of Rock sort of vibe. Yeah. So he'll teach them different instruments throughout the year, and then they form bands, which is really cool. Yeah. So the last day of school in 3rd grade, I'm getting off the bus and I hear my house is like, as I'm getting closer, it's getting louder. And I was like, what? So I run to the basement, and he's on this candy apple red sparkly drum set. I don't even know the brand of it, but it's like this vintage looking thing. Yeah. And it was from his classroom. And he was like, I thought maybe we could just keep it here all summer instead of letting it collect dust. And he handed me the the drumsticks, and he's like, remember that beat I taught you? And apparently I was able to like do it right then and there. And then he picked up his guitar and we started playing Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. Wow. So I actually have my tattoos kind of like,
cool.
Yeah, the trees. It's gonna be upside down for this, but it's kind of has like that's kind of like a little play on that. And then this is let the sun beat down upon my face, stars to fill my dreams.
Oh my god,
yeah,
that's awesome.
So yeah, that I still have that drum set. It's in their attic at my parents' house. Kind of want to make it into a coffee table.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I can't get rid of it.
Like the kick drum or something?
Yeah, or the floor tom be like a side table or something. I don't know. I thought about it. But yeah, that I'll never get rid of that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I don't know. Lately, I feel like I have like specific tools and stuff that I always have. Like this one drum key is like pretty weighted. Sometimes I'm like make sure at the end of the night, like put this in that one pocket so that it doesn't get lost. Yep. I use the same hi-hat clutch because I feel like every other one is just going to break on me during the show. Yep. I have this shaker that is just covered in tape and the beads keep falling out of it, but I just won't, I won't get rid of it. I'm just like, here we go. Like more tape. I like the same cymbals. I have a lot of the same ones that I don't know why I'm not adventurous enough to try other lines. I haven't in a while. It's just comforting to see like my gear always like with me. But I have a new drum company that I'm sponsored by. Yeah. Or endorsed by. So I'm with Ludwig now. And nice. It's like I'm getting to know the kit and I really like it. Yeah. That's I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, first starting out with drumming, just learning the basics, and then kind of as you grow as a drummer, the gear that you like acquire to help you with your craft kind of changes too. So yeah, like you don't know how important a solid hi-hat clutch is until you use the house kit and it doesn't work. And so you're like, they're small. I'm always going to pop one in. And then like, that's like an important part of your kit, or like some sort of stability, even just so you know like what to expect.
Like my stick bag is going to fall apart. It's starting to, but I love it. It's mine, and I'm
the same way. I use things until they like fall apart, especially if they work so well. You know, like I could get another one. It's like with the shaker and stuff like that too. Eventually I will, but
totally.
That's awesome. Can you tell us more about your new kit?
So I have a classic oak drum kit. I have two. I have one on the West Coast at my friend Sarah and Dawn's house. Hey. I love them so much. They live in Los Feliz and they have a garage, and that's where my gear. Nobody go steal it, but it's there. And so it's nice when I fly to the West Coast and I can play that kit. It's I got the white marine pearl.
Nice
sort of vibe. It's the same specs and everything. I think I got the vintage Ludwig badge though on that kit. Cool.
That's awesome.
And then the one I have at home in Philly that I'm on tour with right now, it's like a matte black. I can't remember it's like night something. I can't remember the name of it.
Midnight.
No, it's night oak. I don't know. Like I forget what it is.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So it's black and you can see the wood grain and it's matte, and I got a different bass drum size. I have a 14 by 22.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Short.
Yeah. Took a minute to get used to. There's something different about it.
Yeah.
And it just feels good. They're lighter.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Carrying it, around and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm enjoying it so far. I just got a new snare, the like raw brass something or other. I'm so bad at this. I'm like, I can't remember what it is on the top of my head because I bought it like the day before I left for tour. Yeah. I was kind of in a bind.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't feeling the one I currently had. I was like, I'm just going to go trade some old drums for this. And I did. But I really love it. It's so cool looking. It kind of looks like cymbals, like a raw brassy sort of.
Yeah, that's awesome. Right on.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, just wrapping up here in our last question. So one thing I like to ask people is about like a full circle moment. So I started Full Circle Company because I didn't know what to do with my broken cymbals. And that morphed into making bottle openers and necklaces and all that stuff. But I named it Full Circle because not only are cymbals a circle, but the material we use coming full circle from, a metal being morphed into a symbol that people use and then almost being thrown away and then giving it a new life. So I'm wondering for you, if a moment that stands out in your career where you can say is kind of a full circle moment.
Yeah, I love this question. And I love that. I love everything that Full Circle stands for. It's really amazing. I wish I thought of it. Glad you did. But
well, you're a part of it. So
yeah, it's been fun. So thanks. I think for me, getting the Cyndi Lauper gig was probably like, whoa, I made it. Like, I had done Warped Tour, but that was it.
That story is crazy, by the way. Yeah. I don't know if you want to share
I can share it.
You had like a broken leg when you
broken
tried
foot.
out or something. Yeah.
Yeah, broke my right foot in a car accident less than a month before the audition. Wow. And so when I got home from the hospital, I learned how to play with my left foot using the double bass drum, like the left side of it.
Yeah.
And so I had my toes on the hi-hat, my heel kind of using the kick pedal, and I can still play like that. It's kind of fun. Yeah. It's a little weird, but I don't know. I think that confidence level that I had was like the utmost high that day. And sometimes I got to reach back into that because it's like, I don't know who she was, but I was just like, yeah. So I somehow landing the gig the same day after doing that. I can say there was a couple moments around that time when I was in the audition. I knew I was playing pretty damn well. Like, I was like, they're not mad at this. And like, it was just crazy because when I walked in, they were all like, their faces, they looked mortified. They thought it was a joke. She thought it was a joke. I had to like convince her to let me play. And then when we were playing, I kind of was like looking over and like the bass player was like, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. I didn't see it. I'm just going to rock out. And then we got to play Time After Time. And I had like always loved that song growing up. And I'm just like, I'm playing this with her. At the very minimum, like the very least, like this is an amazing moment. I am an established drummer at this moment in time. It's happening. This is what I've always wanted to do. I'm auditioning. If I don't get this, it's fine. And then I did. I got it. And then being at the Hollywood Bowl that first night when the kabuki dropped and because it was like her face and then it drops and I screamed. I kind of screamed as I'm playing drums. I was because I was just like, I'm at a sold out show at the Hollywood Bowl. This is so crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So just like, but I was appreciative of it. And I don't let those moments, like, I don't take them for granted. I'm just like, I let every moment, even smaller venues or smaller shows, I'm proud to be there and happy to be there. And I always think back to like being 8 years old. Yeah. And like, I used to turn the boombox up as loud as it would go, and rock out and in my basement. And now I'm doing the thing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so cool you have those moments to go back to as well, like if you need them.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. And like even just talking, I feel like the Good Charlotte thing was also like a full circle moment
for sure.
You've probably had others, and I think that's incredible. I love that
Thanks.
so much.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thanks for asking me questions. I love talking about this. It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for making the time when you're here in Salt Lake. I'm excited to see you play tonight.
Me too.
It's always awesome. I can't believe it's been like over 2 years since you're last here and I last saw you. But yeah, always appreciate the time with you.
Thanks.
Is there anything else you want to share? If you don't know as well, Caitlin's an amazing, not only drummer, multi-talented, but graphic designer too.
Oh, thanks.
So at Full Circle, we actually have hired you to design some pretty awesome stuff. And it's awesome because I'll just have a very loose vision idea and I'll just throw it in a Word doc. And I'm like, oh my God, hopefully she can. And then literally what comes out is like, I didn't really picture anything, but it's like exactly my words in like an image.
Oh, so I'm glad. Yeah, I love collaborating with you.
Yeah.
Cool. It's fun because I get to experiment on stuff and and it's some of my favorite work that I've gotten to work on.
That's awesome. Well, I think you're an incredible artist, drummer, painter, artist, and graphic designer. So thanks for making the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. See ya.